Namaskar. Friends, life is not always a well written program that goes about in a particular way which is always predictable. Life is dynamic. Life has multiple changes that happen, and we need to adapt, we need to innovate, we need to adjust according to the circumstances. Let's learn this from the residents of Vrindavan. Krishna is famous all over the world as Makan Chor. How did this Makan Chor do his tricks? What did he do to get this name? How did it all start? Let's find out. While Krishna was growing up, he did these little pranks at home. And Mother Yashoda would discuss these pranks with the ladies, the gopis of Vrindavan. The gopis were so enchanted with these pranks that somewhere they desired, oh, maybe if we could have witnessed this pastime directly like Mother Yashoda, maybe we are not so fortunate. Sensing the desire of the gopis, Krishna decided, okay, let me expand the horizon of my pranks. One day, when Krishna was old enough to walk, he started visiting the neighborhood gopis. He would go to the gopis' houses and then request them, oh my dear mother, please give me little butter. And the gopis would tell him, my dear Krishna, you're so sweet, you're so beautiful, can you please sing a song for us? And Krishna would oblige, he would sing a song and then he would say, my dear mother, can you now give me that little butter? The gopis would say, Krishna, you're so sweet, can you dance for us? And then Krishna would dance. And the gopis would say, wow, Krishna, you dance so well. Then Krishna would then ask, oh my dear mother, can you give me little butter now? I really want to taste the butter at your house. The gopis would then take a little butter and put it on his face and said, that's it Krishna, that's your butter. Krishna would then go to the next gopis house. And there, the whole thing would play out again. Krishna would request them for butter, and the gopis would say, please sing, please dance, please do this, please do that. And then they would put some butter on his face, and then he would be sent off. Krishna, after visiting the neighborhood gopis, thought to himself, what is happening? I am just asking for a little butter, and the gopis are making fun of me. And then he thought, I am Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. Why should I be even requesting them? I can just go and take it because this whole creation belongs to me. That's when he decided there's no more asking, requesting and begging for butter. From now on, I will go and get my butter the way I want it. The butter thief was born. So every day, Krishna would find out a new way, a new idea to get into the house of gopis and steal butter. The gopis would every day adapt to this change and find out newer ways to hide the butter. Krishna would find another way to come into the house. He would jump the wall and come in. The gopis understood this and changed. They started locking their doors. Krishna started finding new ways to get into the house through the windows. The gopis, understanding this strategy, again adapted. They started storing their butter in a very secret place. Krishna and Balram found out different ways to find where this butter was kept hidden. The gopis started putting this butter on the ceiling, tying it to the ceiling so that the little boys can't reach it. Krishna would put things on top of each other and climb up to get this butter. Sometimes they would form a human pyramid to get to this butter. The gopis decided to tie this butter still higher. When the boys could not reach, they would throw stones and other objects and break the butter. So this kind of exchange was going on. Every day Krishna would find a new way to get to the butter and the gopis would find a new way to protect their butter. As this innovation and adaptation was going on, there's one day Krishna decided, today I will definitely get butter from the house of this gopi. So the gopi knew that Krishna's coming. What did she do? She innovated. What she did was she tied bells, ringing bells, to the windows, to the doors, and to the butter pot itself. There was no way that Krishna would come inside the house either through the doors or through the windows without the bells ringing, and that would set off the alarm, which would tell the gopi that Krishna is here. When Krishna, Balram and the Gopas, they started approaching the house, they saw there was something that was different. The Gopas pointed out, "Oh Krishna, look, the house doors and the windows are all being stuck with small bells. How do we get inside? And the moment we touch these bells, it will start ringing. And the gopi would know that we are here." Krishna said, "Don't worry, just come with me." Krishna, Balram and others asked Krishna, "Krishna, are you sure that we'll not get caught?" "Of course we'll not get caught. Just come with me," Krishna said. Krishna and the Gopas started coming closer to the house. When they reached the window through which they had to get in, Krishna ordered the bells that you will not ring. He told the bells, "You will not ring what come may. I will go in and touch you, my Gopas will touch you, but you will not ring." The bells said, "Okay." Then Krishna moved in. The Gopas moved in. They were all touching the bells, but the bells did not ring. And then finally, when they got in, they saw that the butter pot was kept very high on a ceiling. And there were bells around the pot too. Krishna went and touched the pot. The bells did not ring. He started taking this pot, the butter, and distributing it to his friends, to the Gopas. And then when they were satisfied completely, he started distributing it to the monkeys. And then when everybody was done, finally, he took a scoop of this butter and then he popped it into his mouth, and suddenly all the bells in the house started ringing. Krishna was surprised. What's happening? How did this happen? I had instructed the bells to not ring. The Gopas were terrified. There was no way they would now escape. They were caught. Krishna asked the bells, "Why did you ring? I had ordered you not to ring." The bells replied, "My dear Lord, you form the laws and we just obey them. You told us not to ring, we did not ring. But there's another law that you have made. That law is that whenever there is an offering made to you, they have to ring the bell. So it's only when the bell rings that you accept it. So when you were putting this foodstuff in, it was mandatory that we follow that law, and therefore we all rang." This exchange tells us how the devotees, the residents of Vrindavan and Krishna, kept adapting to different circumstances. We can learn from this. There will be surprises. There will be things that are beyond our control, but we must learn to adapt. We must learn to innovate. That's how we lead our lives. Thank you. Namaskar.